So like my next question is kind of like coming from that background, both my parents were, essentially more like the white and blue collar workers. They weren't entrepreneurs. So my question for you is like, you're an entrepreneur now. Like, did that come from an ancestor? Did you have anyone in your upbringing that you were kind of looking and emulating to a certain extent?
Yeah. For me, it was a little different than you. It's funny you say, cages, you're the only one that knew the door was open. And that's the important thing is, I've got guys all the time that are like golden handcuffs. Oh, I work at this company. They're paying me well. I wish I could start my own company. It's like, brother, the cage door is open. Like you're the only one putting yourself in that cage.
Mhm.
You're the only one saying I can't do it because I have this safety net of a paycheck every week. Um, for me, I didn't have a lot of, like I said, positive male role models
Mhm.
growing up. My dad worked for a company, he was great at it, but he gave up his dream in college. He wanted to be a radio announcer, television radio. He majored in radio and television when he was young in college, and he had to quit after his first year, freshman year, because my grandfather got sick, and they owned a candy store, like in back in the 50s, like a soda fountain candy
Mhm.
store up in in New York, and my dad had to quit and go work there so they could wind that business down. And then he got a job at Bloomingdale's, and he ended up working 30 years for Bloomingdale's in retail. And I mean, he loved it. He was great at it, but I could tell it wasn't what he wanted to do.
Mhm.
So that was one thing. I always looked at that and went like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. Right. And I've always had this thing, I think just deep down inside, that I'm sovereign. And the definition of sovereign being there is no one above you. And anytime I've worked in a company where I had a less than ideal someone above me, I couldn't wait to get out. I
Mhm.
was like, nope, I want to do it my way. Right. If I had a great manager, a great boss, a great leader, I was like, no, I want to stay here and learn as much as I can from them. But I think ultimately for me, it was I wanted no cage of any time. Like I got to the point in my life where it was, I don't want a cage. And that cage could even be, even if I had my own business, was I was a slave to that business 10, 12 hours a day.
Mhm.
If I'm going to do it 10, 12 hours a day, I want it to be something I love. Like I did 2 podcast interviews yesterday and a client call and a bunch of other things. I had client calls this morning. I'm doing this with you. Like this isn't work, man. This is part of my business, but
Mhm.
I love this. This to me is uncaged, right? So for me, it was what can I create? And if there are no boundaries, and I can do anything that I want, and I can lean into some of my talents, my passions, what I feel my purpose is in life, then I'm going to create something around all of that. And you know what? If I make $1, I make $1, right? If I make 1 million, I make 1 million, because money is no longer like points on a scoreboard to me. It's what's the impact I'm making? What's the influence I have? Who am I moving forward? And I give myself an intention every day is I want to move at least one person forward every day.
Mhm.
And then I know I did what I'm here to do. And so for me, it was what can I create as an entrepreneur, call it entrepreneurship, to be my own sovereign boss, to use your terms,
Mhm.
and do what I love doing and make an impact, make a difference, be an inspiration. And so that's what I've done. And that's why every day I get up and I'm like, cool, I get to do this again.